So Dream kind of got canceled over on Twitter, if you want to call it that. I don't know. I feel like legitimate attempts to cancel people have started to kind of get mixed up with these like half-baked attempts to like kind of do it as like a counter reaction and things like that. I'm really hard pressed to call this a cancellation or anything because obviously, number one, it's not going to have any major effect on Dream's career. He's not going to lose all of his fans overnight. He's not going to have money coming in just, stopping immediately because of all this whole thing happening. So it really doesn't have like a huge impact, but it's a situation I still want to comment on just because of, I guess, the circumstances around it and everything here. So before we get any further into the video, I just want to say that nearly half of you watching have yet to subscribe. I try to post multiple videos per day to keep you entertained, so consider leaving a like to help support and subscribe with notifications on so you never miss anything. Also, all of my socials are on the screen right now, so consider leaving a follow on these for more awesome content, and also consider grabbing a shirt if you're really awesome. Now to the rest of the video. It all really kind of started with hashtag Dream is Over Party, where two kind of major incidents were brought up, I guess, against Dream in this entire thing here. Now, the first one I want to talk about here were some screenshots, I guess, from some sort of website that monitors, like, changes to Minecraft usernames, where people were basically making the accusation that Dream had some pretty, I guess, quote-unquote edgy gamer tags a couple years ago before he was popular or anything like that. And then another one was a clip in which Dream supposedly said the N-word during a video or a live stream or something. I guess they were playing like Minecraft on a server or something, and there was a clip of someone saying the N-word, and it was supposedly him. And these two things kind of boiled up. People started trending hashtag Dream is Over Party. These people who did this are called anti-stans, I guess, which are people who dislike Dream, and that's what they're called by the Dream stans. It's really just a big confusing high school drama. That's all this whole thing really is, but so these were the screenshots that really started floating around, and you can see the usernames there. Obviously, those are things that couldn't fly in 2021. These are usernames that, of course, you could have had back in the day, right? Like, I feel like in 2016, if you had these going, people really wouldn't have cared. The internet is a much different place now. You really can't just be out here saying or doing whatever you want anymore without people getting mad. Obviously, cancel culture wasn't really a big thing back in the day. People really didn't get mad about this kind of stuff, it was kind of just deemed internet humor or whatever, right? So there was that, and then there was this clip.
Me?
Should I go
My
bomb him?
friend's a mod. Well, you could bring your friend in the live stream too. I'm sure he'd enjoy himself as well.
Bop bop nigga.
Bop bop, nigga.
Now that clip obviously is pretty damning if you don't know what Dream sounds like, if you've never heard him, but I think it's pretty clear that this wasn't Dream who actually said it. This doesn't sound like him in any way. And there's no actual proof that it was him, but of course, this kind of, I guess, built up into this big thing. Now, I guess the whole point of, like, trending these and, like, bringing these out was to make, like, a counter statement to Dream stans, right? Because, people who stan Dream and these other creators, right, they're so quick to, like, put on, it seems like, goggles that warp their perception. And this really isn't just a Dream thing, this is kind of across the board. I'm sure there's probably people who would do this with me too. But basically, they just ignore any valid criticisms of a creator, they ignore anything bad that they may do, anything that they may say or whatever, and just kind of blindly defend them. And I guess the whole point of this was to bring up the fact that, oh, Dream, your hero, he does the same stuff that you'd cancel other people for, or you'd be mad at other people for doing. But unfortunately, the evidence kind of fell through, it seems like. The evidence doesn't seem like it'll stand on its own, right? And even then, right, I think it's gotten to this point online where, like, we're canceling someone every day, right? We're canceling someone for something every single day. There's always something new going out where, people are getting in trouble, people are saying something they, I guess, shouldn't say. Now, it's kind of led up to this big thing where it's like anti-stans versus Dream stans over this whole thing. You got your Dream stans doing whatever they can to defend him. You have the anti-stans or whatever sharing these clips out of context, trending hashtags, things like that, trying to, I guess, make a big point here. Now, first, I just want to point out that the anti-stans are often the same people who say things like, oh, cancel culture is bad, we shouldn't be canceling people over these petty things. Why can't people change and things like that? But then, like, the first thing they did, right, was to make a point. They basically played the exact same game that the stans do. Now, I don't really think the eye for an eye mentality is the best way to handle something like this. Now, if there is plenty of things, of course, to criticize people like Dream for. But I feel like a lot of the times these valid criticisms are pushed to the wayside to focus on things that either completely invalidate the point themselves based on your previous criticisms of what other people are doing, or it's basically holding Dream to a different standard than they hold other creators to. One thing I really don't like about people who are like vehemently against Dream, and by the way, I really don't care. You know, like I'm not a Dream fan, I'm not a Dream hater. Dream exists in the same planet as I do, and he makes videos for a completely different demographic than I do, and that's fine. But people will they'll make the point that, oh, well, Dream does nothing to, curb his audience. His fans are toxic and he does nothing to hold them back. But then a lot of the same people who say that will then vehemently defend the points of like, oh, well, you can't hold creators accountable for what other people do. Because commentary channels, their audiences, sometimes they will go and attack people based on videos. And I've been very quick to denounce this kind of behavior pretty much ever since I've started YouTube. Or at least ever since I've had an audience, and I will do that constantly throughout the rest of my career, but people will defend creators like me who, something like this could happen, and they'll say, well, they're not responsible for their audience, they're not responsible for how they act. But then when a subsection of Dream's audience, which is extremely toxic, will go and harass other people or act completely out of character for what should be expected, they then will pin the responsibility back on Dream. So I think that the people who are trending this hashtag and who are actually against Dream, I think they're focusing on the wrong issues and they're going about this the wrong way. I have no problem with criticizing Dream, but to play into the same cards that you actively will denounce any other time does not make your point any more solid. Now, of course, it does bring up a valid point, though, against stans. I mean, stans are very quick to cancel people and to act ridiculous and things like that. It's a big reason why a lot of people don't like stans, but, I mean, when you look at all this, we're going to go through some screenshots here. I mean, the points really just kind of fall flat. They really don't actually make any sense. So first, it appears that the Minecraft account that people are bringing up the previous usernames for was never actually in who you know is Dream's possession when all of that occurred. So, to prove this, apparently there's some screenshots going around that I want to go ahead and bring up here now. Forgot to make it clear, the old Dream I knew sold his account to this Dream. I can tell because their personalities are so much different. The old Dream was much more rude XD. Dream replied by saying, yeah, obviously not me. I emailed you if you want to reply, could be helpful. Someone by the name of Untrusted, ironic I know, says, so I guess some Dream stans have found my shitpost videos and assumed the guy who owned the Dream account way back when is the same guy who has a shit ton of subscribers now. Y'all are dumb as hell. Not only has that account swapped hands, probably more after my friend sold it, but they sound nothing alike. I also removed all the videos because this has been a dead channel with all of the content being edgy shit posts with a lot of cringy shit. Go back to Twitter fiends, okay? So, my understanding, I guess, of this whole thing here, of this whole subject, if it makes any sense here, from what I understand, this Dream account or whatever actually was bought by who you know as Dream, which is apparently something that happens in the Minecraft community where people will sell accounts and names and things like that to other people. Really not too far-fetched of a concept, but obviously, Dream, pretty common, right, like you would think. Like, everyone knows what a Dream is, right? So it definitely makes a little bit of sense, right, that the Dream account would have been sold multiple times and had multiple owners before that who could have done all this stuff or said these things. But then also there's a screenshot that I guess Dream stans have been showing from a Discord channel where apparently people who dislike Dream had been planning something like this all along. Time to plan our next move. I'm thinking next month we go for hashtag Dream is over party and fabricate videos of him saying the N-word. The look on his face will be awesome. Now obviously I don't know if this is real or fake. This could be a documented screenshot. Really any of the evidence in all this could be documented as just a bunch of bullshit here. But if this is to be true, this is definitely quite coincidental, right? This is pretty crazy, so I believe Dream's private account here is also the one that made a statement here, which we'll go ahead through. For further context to my main tweet, I didn't play on the account Dream until 2019. Delta Ninja was not ever a username of mine, and the Dream on account no longer exists, so any reference to it on name MC is not me. So it looks like this whole time, these anti-Dream stans who were, trying to make this big point, bring this case forward or whatever here, actually ended up using fake evidence to try and cancel Dream the entire time. So that seems to be the whole situation up until this point, though. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, not canceling Dream, and signing out.